It's just, when you got cities that want more.
And the bills correct, the bills out, that's on your program.
Three pages. Ronnie's gonna,
I see some of them printing it, but that's got some revisions, I'm looking for the revisions.
take longer to read.
All right, good morning. We're
County Attorney.
here at the Marshall County Commission regular special call meeting. Let's do a roll call to start with. Commissioner Schumate,
Here.
Commissioner Watson,
Yes.
Commissioner Sims, Commissioner, Bailey. Yeah, what's your name? George Baker.
You remind me, I don't know, somebody,
It's Friday, folks.
I am here.
Let's note on that Commissioner Sims is absent. Prayer, Clint.
Let's pray together. Father, we are so thankful for this study. God, we're thankful for the help and the energy that you give us. Father, we ask that you give us wisdom today. We ask that you help us to see the needs of those that are around us, to take actions that are not only good for the county, but good for all of our citizens and good for our society as a whole. We pray, Father, that you would direct our steps today, that you would let us be your hands and your feet upon this earth. In Christ's name, we ask these things. Amen.
Mr. Schumate.
Place the flag. Salute. Pledge.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Since Commissioner Watson is working hard on this project, so you kind of set us up for this.
Okay, first question, is this what the ACCA sent us to adopt? Or is this-
It is I started with that, and then I have made it Marshall County specific. So
Okay.
all of the ACCA language is in there,
Okay.
plus some, and I'll walk you through the reason for the plus.
Okay,
in a
well,
little bit.
I didn't see the Wayfair,
Wayfair.
when,
Waiver. You're talking about
no,
the,
Wayfair versus South Dakota.
oh, that is, I'll explain what that has to do with the waiver of conflict that I'll walk y'all through in a moment.
Yeah, each county is doing this also.
Well, they're adopting a resolution to authorize the county to participate as an intervener, but because of the dynamics of my firm, there are considerations that Marshall County has that are not going to be universal among all other counties.
Okay.
And I'll walk you through all that in just a moment. And I'm happy to address those things first and then let Commissioner Watson present.
Okay, good, go ahead and do your.
So, as you all know, my law firm is Wilmer and Lee, and we're comprised of 25 different lawyers, 20 of which are partners. We represent multiple different counties. We represent multiple different municipalities. We represent multiple different school boards. And because of the division of the SSUT tax that the city of Tuscaloosa, the Tuscaloosa Board of Education, and the city of Mountain Brook, just like the counties are all coming together to intervene, I anticipate that the state representative board of the boards of education are going to do that. AEA is going to be, I mean, this thing is going to take on a very big life of its own. And one of the entities that has already reached out and has indicated that they are going to be participating is the Alabama Education Association, AEA. And so my law partner, Fred Farrell, represents AEA. I don't do any work for AEA. I'm not going to be participating in who Sonny Brassfield and ACCA selects, but the fact that I am the county attorney and the fact that Fred Farrell is an AEA attorney is going to put lawyers from my firm in several different pockets in this suit. So the rules of professional conduct says that any conflict that if Fred Farrell couldn't represent the Marshall County Commission in this, I can't represent the Marshall County Commission. That's a conflict under Rule 1.10, 1.10. And those conflicts are waivable, but in order to waive it, it has to be in writing and it has to be an informed waiver. So this is a belt and suspenders. I just don't want to have any problems with the Alabama State Bar because Wilmer and Lee represents some other far-flung entity, because by the time this is all said and done, I anticipate there's going to be at least 100 parties in this case. When you've got 67 counties, you've got over 100 municipalities and over 100 boards of education, this is going to involve just about every law firm in the state if it all comes to fruition. So in the resolution authorizing the county to intervene as a defendant on the side of the state of Alabama, this just simply says that if there are any conflicts of interest, then y'all know that they're there. I'm not going to be advising any other entity in this entity, and in fact, I may be listening in on what the lawyers that ACCA hires to advise the county, but I don't think it's politically correct. Daniel, please don't quote me on this, but it's called a Chinese wall inside a firm. If you've got two partners that are involved in cases, then we have a waiver of conflict. I've got this same situation because I represent the Alabama Dental Board Association, or the Dental Board, and Fred Farrell represents AEA against the State of Alabama Board of Adjustments. So it is just a uniform waiver of conflict that is out of an abundance of caution. So that's what that is.
But AEA has not joined this suit yet, have they? Okay, let me rephrase that question. I have seen no documentation where AEA has joined this suit.
Well, you've not seen any documentation yet that Marshall County has joined the suit either, but it's anticipated that they will.
To see it.
What's that?
I'm talking about people that are fighting against us.
That's what I'm talking about as well.
AEA has not joined this. They've not joined the suit that's going to be heard in December, I don't think.
They have not yet,
Okay.
but there's a deadline for all interested parties to file to intervene, and I anticipate there will be a lot of additions to that
Okay.
lawsuit between now and then.
What's the deadline then?
I think it's the 10th, isn't it? on that email, it's the day of or the day after our next meeting, which is what
It's the day.
precipitated our,
Well, December the 10th is our meeting.
I think that the deadline that's set by the circuit judge is either that day or the next day. And Mr. Brassfield has asked that all counties respond by adopting a resolution authorizing the intervention by December the 3rd.
Okay.
So that's what necessitated a special call meeting.
And I agree with you. I think as far as other entities, including AA, I think they'll all join because everybody's got an interest of trying to get a piece of the pie.
Yes, sir. Everybody wants a seat at the table when it comes time to, and I do anticipate that this case is going to be, it will lead to additional legislation because they're going to have to fix this with legislation. But it started with the city of Tuscaloosa, the Tuscaloosa Board of Education, and the city of Mountain Brook filing against the Department of Finance or the ADOR, whichever it is. And this is going to be one of those cases that every public entity that either A, receives a share of the SSUT tax, or that wants to receive a share of the SSUT tax will intervene. That is very clear to me. And it's also very clear to the circuit judge in Montgomery County. That's the reason she set the deadline for December the 10th for all parties that are going to seek to intervene.
Would it be just as simple right now for you to read, go ahead and read
Yes,
what we got?
I'm happy to do that. But I didn't want to steal Commissioner Watson's thunder in terms of what ACCA is trying to do and talk y'all through the wisdom. And by the way, I do recommend that Marshall County intervene in this case. I do recommend that you throw your lot in with ACCA because the counties need to speak with one voice. They do not need to all have their independent legal counsel and be trying to pull in different directions. The counties have I say that the counties have the united interest. All counties that receive, and I'm not exactly clear on what counties receive SSUT and what counties don't. I know Madison County also is represented by our firm, and they, from what I understand, are only lukewarm about this. I think that they will follow the recommendation of ACCA ultimately, but the SSUT is Marshall County's saving grace at this moment. So we have a very vested interest in the outcome of this case.
It's great community.
And I think that ACCA's approach to this is exactly the approach that it needs to take. But that is beneficial in a number of regards because, one, every county attorney individually will see the case differently. They will plead the case differently. But we have one goal, and that's to leave the SSUT undisturbed. The nature of the suit is not necessarily getting the SSUT divided differently. The nature of the suit is to challenge the SSUT altogether, as I understand it, and thereby forcing the legislature to adopt a different schematic.
The municipalities are wanting it redefined.
Yes.
They want to add another cent to it. That's been discussed.
Mhm.
But we wasn't gonna get any of that 1 cent. We were gonna get money taken away from us. And that's what got all this crap started.
I think that there is a win-win solution. It will involve the legislature. I think the SSUT does need to be increased so that there is no longer an incentive for people to buy online as opposed to shopping local. I think it needs to be made uniform such that it matches the prevailing rate.
Yes, sir. We have went that route. We have told them, if you want to raise this to 9 or 10%, fine.
Yeah.
Raise it.
But just
But we
leave
keep-
what's there
We
alone.
keep our 20%. When you raise that to 10%, we get our 20% out of that the way we're getting today.
Well, there'll be plenty of discussions going forward about what to do and what not to do. But what is going to be vital is that the counties have a voice at the table and not just leave this to negotiations in Montgomery that we don't participate in, and intervening the way that ACCA has recommended ensures that the counties are represented in those discussions and that their voice is going to be heard in those negotiations.
Yeah, and it really important thing for the press to understand from Marshall County standpoint. Long before this became an issue, at least in the courts, this commission had set this money aside to be used to build our new jail addition and the needs it's going to have. That was earmarked for that way before this came up. So that even makes it even more important.
Well, and not only that, Mr. Chairman, but we've also pledged those revenues for a bond issue.
Exactly.
That makes the continued receipt of those funds vital.
All right, what do we want to do next? You want to read it?
Well,
Rick, you want to continue?
No, I was just thinking that we were supposed to adopt what the form that they sent to us. Now, that's what I thought.
well, and you are.
And that had the wayfaring thing, and went through the Supreme Court, and the Supreme Court had agreed to it, and blah, blah, blah.
I'll just pull up the resolution that was sent, and I'll show you what's there versus what they've recommended. What ACCA needs is a resolution that authorizes Marshall County to participate with ACCA in litigation that is directed by ACCA for them to engage a firm that's going to be representing not only Marshall County, but every county that participates with them. That's the goal. That's what the resolution does, and that's also what this resolution does.
Okay, well, what you just said has never been to have a representation from every county. I thought ACCA was our representation for every county.
I'm talking about a lawyer that is going to be in the case, appearing in the case, that is 03-CV-2025-901301. I mean, ACCA is our association that is advocating for the county's interest, but ACCA is not a law firm. ACCA is going to have to engage a law firm to be the named legal counsel for all the counties that come together and intervene in the case.
Okay.
And this gives them our permission, from our standpoint.
Yes.
So we're joining that.
This says that we are throwing our lot in with ACCA, that we are authorizing the chairman to execute any engagement letters that are needed from that law firm to represent Marshall County, and to fully participate as agreed upon and suggested by ACCA. But let me pull up this resolution from ACCA, and I'll show you the similarities. I have not taken anything away from
Original thing they wrote.
I only added to make it unique to our circumstances. All right, so Commissioner Young's email was November the 13th, 2025. It says, please see below from Sonny, per rules, to call special meeting, and it goes to the special meeting. And so the email from Sonny is, as we discussed on yesterday's recorded webinar, the association is coordinating an effort for all 67 counties to intervene in the lawsuit challenging the SSUT here in Montgomery County Circuit Court. Because the suit was filed by the city of Tuscaloosa, it is important we make clear to the judge that all local governments do not share the views of that city. In order to meet the deadline established by the court, we need all counties to adopt the resolution linked below to provide the association with an electronic copy no later than Wednesday, December the 3rd. The resolution is straightforward. The association will coordinate one unified filing for all interested counties. It will not be necessary for your county to engage an attorney to be part of this effort. In other words, we're going to be going through ACCA. Linked below is the resolution that must be adopted and provided to the association by close of business Wednesday, December the 3rd. Some have asked whether cities can be included in the filing. We absolutely will include any city that wishes to support this effort. To that end, also linked below is a draft resolution for cities that wish to be on record opposing the position of the city of Tuscaloosa. And so then I'll pull up the linked resolution.
That's for the cities.
Well, they provided us with a form resolution that I accessed somehow. See, understand?
Forget the short.
I might not have got it from John. I might have got it from either Norma. It might have come from Norma. No, Ashley was out. Here we go. Here we go. I want to. Yeah, here we go. SSUT resolution. It was from Norma. All right. So the form resolution is just a half page. It says, whereas the Alabama Simplified Seller Use Tax, SSUT remittance tax, codified at section 43-23-191. So you'll see the second whereas in the resolution that I have presented you. So I'm going to read from what Sonny sent us. You read the second whereas on what I've provided you. Whereas the Alabama Simplified Seller Use Tax, SSUT Remittance Act, codified at section 40-23-191 et sec, Code of Alabama 1975, established a process by which the state of Alabama collects use taxes from eligible sellers on behalf of Alabama consumers. So you see that that is identical. And then the second paragraph, I look at my first whereas. I'm reading the second whereas on what Sonny sent. You look at the first one, whereas on my resolution. Whereas on August the 12th, 2025, the city of Tuscaloosa, the school district of the city of Tuscaloosa, and the city of Mountain Brook filed a lawsuit in Circuit Court of Montgomery County, Alabama, against Vernon Barnett in his official capacity as Commissioner of the Alabama Department of Revenue, asking the court to direct Commissioner Barnett to disqualify particular business entities from the SSUT program. So I've just rearranged it to make it make more sense to me. Then the third whereas is the fifth whereas, and what I've provided you. I'll read it, and it should be just about verbatim. Whereas on November the 10th, 2025, the court imposed a 30-day deadline for any other interested parties to file motions to intervene in this litigation. So that's where I got the December the 10th deadline, and that's identical. The fourth whereas on Sonny's is I made this, I made this fit our county a little bit better, but look at the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5th, 6th whereas on what I sent you. Whereas the SSUT program has been essential source of revenue for blank county, and the plaintiff's lawsuit, if successful, would jeopardize the county's ability to maintain the current level of governmental service it provides to the public. So that's identical. That's the end of the whereases for Sonny's resolution, and it goes, now therefore be it resolved by the blank county commission that the county is directed to take all necessary actions, whether by itself or as part of a joint undertaking, to intervene as defined in the SSUT litigation to protect the county's interest and critical revenue. So if you'll look at the now therefore paragraph at the bottom of page 2, what that states is paragraph number 1 exactly. The only thing that I've inserted is the explanation of what a 1.7 waiver is and what a 1.10 waiver is. So the resolution as proposed by ACCA is fully encompassed in what I have sent, plus it addresses the unique waiver of conflict that is the result of Wilmer and Lee. It does not affect in any way, does not limit ACCA what they're asking us to do. It's exactly what they ask us to do, plus an informed waiver on y'all's part saying that you understand that my law firm may be participating. I'm not going to be participating even on Marshall County's behalf. Y'all are going to be represented by whomever is selected by ACCA to be the lead counsel on behalf of the counties. So I recommend that the resolution as prepared be considered and open for deliberation by the commission.
Any other comments?
You seem to have heartburn, Commissioner Watson. Do you?
Well, seems to me like when something goes before the Supreme Court and you win, that should be included in it. That's all I'm saying.
What do you mean, the Supreme Court and we win?
The Supreme Court, the SSU tax was challenged in South Dakota by Wayfair. Okay, they sued the state of South Dakota. That went to the Supreme Court.
The United States
Supreme Court, and they ruled in our favor.
Well, they ruled in South Dakota's favor under South Dakota's law.
South Dakota's favor, but South Dakota used our.
They modeled their act after ours.
Alabama, yes, sir.
Well, and that may in fact be front and center, and I expect that it would be front and center in the litigation that the law firm that ACCA engages to represent the counties. Mm-hmm. I suspect that is going to be the point of the spear. That has nothing to do with the enabling resolution that enables Marshall County to participate in it. That is what they're going to be talking about in the litigation itself. Right. This just enables Marshall County to participate in the litigation.
All right. Okay. So if we send this down there and they don't have any problem, we okay if they come back with questions? We have to read.
They're not going to have any questions.
Okay.
Every lawyer that reads this is going to understand that Marshall County is in, and that Marshall County had a unique situation because of its county attorney, and it's just an all-in-one, takes care of everything.
Okay, we good. Everybody gonna have a happy Thanksgiving.
Yes.
All right, I need a motion to accept and adopt the resolution. Send this. Yes.
Mr. Chairman, I make a motion, we adopt this resolution as prepared by our lawyer.
Second.
Mr. Shoemaker.
Yes.
Mr. Watson.
Yes.
Mr. Commissioner Baker.
Yes.
Resolution passes. Any other business? If not, I need a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor, aye. We're adjourned.
I don't know why I pointed that towards your right hand.